Okay, great. So, very good evening to all students, counselors, and educators. Thank you for tuning in to iDreamCareer's webinar series. Uh, I'm Thomas. I'm a senior counselor and growth manager at iDreamCareer. We also have my team members Nitin and Ankit here, who will be assisting you on YouTube chat. Should you have any queries, you can definitely mention it there. Uh, Now, while I would love to be able to contact or speak to you directly, I do understand that there are certain challenges that will not let me do so. The objective of these webinar series are very simple: to be able to help class or grade 12 students gear up for the college admission season. And I'm sure there are a lot of challenges and a lot of things to work on when you're preparing for college admissions. So I'll quickly take you through what the agenda for the sessions are. Today is the first of many sessions. We'll have one session every 20th of every month at same time at 6 p.m. You will find the details of every webinar on uh, our YouTube channel as well. So it's going to be updated in a timely manner every month around the 10th of every month. But we already have a plan in place where we want to discuss specific elements with all the students, let you know and give you updates about various college applications that have been out, a few entrance exams that have been open right now, or according to the month that we are actually doing it in. So today's webinar will be on the introduction, of course, to the webinar series, uh, the college admission updates for October and November of this year, uh, and how to plan for plan A, B, and C for colleges. What are the strategies you can use? The second session will be on the 20th of December, which is going to also cover applications for the month of December, along with overseas, and what are the things that you need to look at if you're preparing for an overseas education after class 12. We will have a senior counselor with us who is an expert on overseas education then. And of course, every session, like you see, will have specific agendas for every session thereon. Now, for this webinar, apart from what are the college updates, we also wanted to let students know which are the important areas to work on. Uh, so essentially, if you're in class 12 right now and you're building a college plan, uh, it would be safe for us to say that it is essential to understand that there are certain times your college plans may not go according to plan. So there are certain times that you might think of going to college A, and because of certain marks or because of some unforeseen circumstances, I think 2020 is a fantastic year to understand how unforeseen circumstances could affect your college admissions process as well. So it's always safer to keep a plan B and plan C, and even within your singular plans that you have, to look at multiple colleges for the same, so that you have at least a safety net of options to look at after 12. Some of you may also be looking at waiting for another year and preparing again for a specific entrance exam and so on, though we will go into those elements a little later. But I just wanted to give you a broader purview of what are the few things you can look at if you want to build a solid plan A, B, and C. Now, first of all, before we build a solid plan, it is very important for us to know what are our likes, what are our interests, what are our hobbies, what are the subjects that we enjoy, what are the areas that we want to go and see ourselves working in, what could be the careers that would give us fulfillment. So for a lot of these elements, I think self-exploration is required. In some cases, career guidance is also needed. Some of you may require the help of career counselors or college counselors to be able to make your choices more concrete. So having said that, typically a plan A should be based on your favorite subjects. It's a no-brainer. Most of you, I'm sure, will have a specific set of subjects that you enjoy. And I'm sure that some of you, and almost most of you, will have subjects that you don't enjoy that much as well. So as long as you're clear on which subjects do you like more, it is very likely that you will continue to enjoy them should you plan to take them in college as well. So plan A usually is, if you like a certain subject, there are direct courses that are linked to those subjects. So for example, some of you are looking at science, enjoy physics. Apart from engineering, you also have a BSc physics or a pure sciences that is an option for you. If some of you like arts or commerce, there are specific subjects that will take you to specific courses. So some of you like accountancy, usually the direct pathway is taking a BCom and a CA alongside with it, if that is an interest area. So what I mean to say is, look at your subject, and thereby there will be certain courses that are directly linked to that. Plan B could be an intersection of hobbies and academic interests. I understand a lot of students have hobbies which are extracurricular as well, meaning they are beyond the syllabus that is being taught to you in school. They could be sports, they could be music, they could be art, they could be other areas that you want to probably spend your time with. Now, a lot of the times I understand that 11th and 12th are the years when some students tend to kill their hobbies, meaning if I like music, if I like sports, I would want to give, you know, more attention to my academic subjects so that I have college plans open. While that is usually uh, the planning that most of the students actually take in, uh, I would say that while your studies would probably take precedence over your co-curricular activities, I would say never stop the co-curricular activities you do, because they do teach you certain employable skill sets. I mean, if you're looking at sports, sports teaches you specific skill sets, and I will get to that later. But you can find intersections of those careers alongside, if you see between a certain subject that you enjoy and a certain career that, or a certain hobby that you like to do. So, for example, if I like sports and I like maths, there are intersecting careers called sports analytics. They could be subject matter experts who help sports managers decide on whom to invest, which kind of players to buy and sell during auction seasons, or during transfer windows for football seasons on. Some of you who like biology and sports can look at careers in sports medicine or sports physiotherapy. Some of you who like writing and sports can look at sports journalism. Some of you like design and sports. There are apparel manufacturers who would love to take you on and make you, allow you to work in those kind of elements. So what I mean to say here is that, and of course, if you like psychology and sports as well, sports psychology is another option. So what I mean to say here is that you will find an intersection between a subject and a hobby, and those could keep be your plan B as well. I mean, a lot of you who might be interested, for example, in cricket, in India, that tends to be one of the most popular sports there is. However, there is only place for about roughly about 20 people to be in the Indian cricket team, and there are crores of young adults who actually want to get in, but 99% of them actually don't. So I would say that the Indian cricket team has a far more stringent criteria than even probably the best IITs in the country. So having said that, how do I make sure that I keep some of those interests alive? You will always find intersection between other subjects, and they could point you in a very niche area, an area that you might not have thought about. So sports analytics, sports psychology, sports medicine, uh, sports journalism are very, very niche areas to work in. But someone who's genuinely interested in that hobby would definitely find it more enjoying. And I know that some of you like sports, don't probably like sitting in one place for extended periods of time. So sometimes regular office might be a little boring, but these kind of areas could be a little more interesting. So that is usually what I meant by find an intersection between your hobby and your academic interest. A plan C could be based on an entrance exam, primarily because uh, while a lot of colleges will allow you to get in basis your class 12 marks or your merit, it is always good to give a plan C basis an entrance exam, because there might be times that your scores in your boards might not be that great. So to keep a backup option, then an entrance exam always is viable. So you can look at specific courses that could keep one entrance exam based option open. And of course, the other part to all of this is to start planning early, meaning if you're in class 12 right now, you should have already started planning these elements. And of course, the other areas to focus on would be definitely time management, not only for entrance exams, but in general. I'm sure that most of you are currently rationing out time to be able to spend with specific subjects, how to prepare for board exams. Some of you are preparing for board exams and doing entrance exams together. So you know what I'm talking about. But you would also benefit from the idea of working on time management skills even within the test as well. I'm sure some of you are already using things like a stopwatch when you're taking or when you're doing a practice tests, so that you're used to the time limit. That will be very, very important in some cases. Time management or effective time management is the difference between you losing out marks for silly mistakes or not. So sometimes that could be the difference. And you might have known that for a lot of national level entrance exams, the competitions are so high that even maybe a one mistake that you make because of improper time management could cost you the college that you are dreaming about. The other areas that you need to work on, speaking about entrance exams, are general awareness or general knowledge. GK is a demon with no syllabus. Most of the entrance exams that you think of, for example, if you look at BBA or the CLAT exam for law, the NDA exam, NCHMCT, in some cases for NATA in architecture as well, there are various forms of general knowledge that are asked in these kind of entrance exams. It would be best if all students can start reading the newspaper regularly and probably work on GK, because GK has no syllabus. They don't ask you which part of the newspaper do you like reading, and thereby we will ask you questions only from those areas. That never happens. So if you look at a sample CLAT paper, and I would definitely say for students, if there is a certain entrance exam you're planning to take, please do ensure you've practiced on that paper for a couple of times before you go in, because some of them might be really easy also, but you might feel like with a little bit more practice you could have actually got an edge. So it's always best to practice those entrance exams beforehand. So if you look at maybe the CLAT format for the last few years, the kind of questions that came in for GK were based on the Gyanpeeth Awards, surrogacy laws, defense budgets, railway budgets, the kind of you know uh, literary awards, fields medals that people have got, geopolitical issues. So there are so many different types of things that are covered under GK. Uh, in fact, some of you are looking at civil services. The civil services GK paper tends to be, in my opinion, is one of the toughest on the planet. So I think GK goes without question. It is something that only comes through with a lot of reading and research. So you guys got to figure out how to ensure that you have that information coming to you regularly. It could be through an app. It could be through regular reading of newspaper, or it could also be through, going for specific general awareness books like the Manorama yearbook and so on. Group discussions are not part of all types of college admissions processes, but there are certain colleges that will definitely want a group discussion. Now, just important to remember that we will have a separate session for group discussions, but some of you who are preparing for it right now do need to remember that uh, group discussions are designed so that they allow people to talk about various subjects or various topics. Sometimes those topics might not be very comfortable to talk about, or might be very very sensitive topics as well. The objective of a group discussion is to see how people can communicate clearly, to keep to logically put out the ideas and communicate those ideas very clearly on the board. And the idea is never to have a solution to that problem, but at least to have a discussion. So you might not find a solution to any concern that has been put across in a GD, but as long as you're able to put your ideas across, put it across in a respectable and a logical manner, that should be enough to be able to get the assessor's attention. Post that, interviews and building impressive resume is also a part of certain college applications. Usually, I've seen this happen with certain private colleges. In most of these cases, if you're looking at interviews, we do have a separate session for interviews as well, that I think is planned in the subsequent sessions. And of course, I we will be sharing with you the schedule as well, through a Google Drive form. So all of you can actually have a look at what the schedule looks like. So if you're looking at interviews, we will have a separate session on that. But just to give you a little brief, interviews are typically not very different from blind dates. Both parties assess each other. In some cases, it's always best if you have an interview for a college planned. Please do your research on that college, on the course that you're going to go in. What are the kind of professors who are going to teach you those courses? Why are you studying those courses? These are few things that you'll have to do some research on before you get in. But definitely, please go in with a couple of questions prepared, because it is also your opportunity to understand whether the college is fit for you also. Yeah, that is also a possibility, that students also have the right to assess whether a college is good enough for them or addresses the needs of the specific child. Uh, Today, a lot of private colleges also have virtual tours that you can actually log into and find out information on. For uh, careers as well, some of you may have relatives, friends or family who are probably working in areas that you probably are a little interested in. It's a good time to ask them to do a video call and see what their workplace is like. Uh, Talk to professionals, understand from them what are the challenges that they're facing in their jobs on a regular basis, what are the kind of skill sets that are required uh, to be able to get there. And of course, reading more. There is no harm in actually reading more information, but please develop a very strong reading habit. If you're planning to go into college, the reality is you have at least 3 to 4 years of education more that is coming your way, but you still have a lifetime of learning to do. So, which is why running away from a reading habit tends to be detrimental to your growth and to your options in being employable as well. So I can't stress upon this enough that if students have a very strong reading habit, it goes without saying that it helps build your character. It also helps to a great extent with doing excellently well during interviews also, and it gives a fresh perspective to whatever career or whatever job you're actually doing. And finally, building skills. I think for every job that you or every career that you want to see yourself working in, it goes without saying that now, given that the employment market is changing, in fact, in the last decade, I was hearing another very eminent speaker from our team talk about that in the last decade, that the hiring practices of many organizations have changed drastically, meaning that they not only look for uh, the legacy college, they not only look for an excellent course that the student has studied, but they also look for competencies and skills. And some of those competencies and skills are actually built when you're practicing your co-curricular activities as well. So when I say that, I mean some of you like playing sports, for example. In team sports, you already have few factors like communication that you learn in very effective ways if you're playing a team sport. You learn how to motivate your team members when you're playing a team sport. You're able to be on your feet for extended periods of time. You are able to take very fast decisions. You have enormous situational awareness in certain sports as well. So all of these are very important skill sets to have, and do definitely add to your resume and application. In fact, most of us adults also put in a lot of co-curricular activities that we did in school, not because my boss will probably want me to run a few laps and just to get into the job, but they understand that if you have certain hobbies, those hobbies kind of play in very well with your character and the way you actually approach your work. So, in order to build skills, uh, even at iDreamCareer, we have launched a couple of micro skilling programs for young adults. So, for students from school till I've seen students who are in college as well enroll for these kind of programs. Some of these programs are built on design thinking, on management consulting, uh, on various areas like preparing for interviews and resumes as well, financial literacy, and so on. Currently, we have a program on solving problems through design thinking through Kanika Kohli, who is a user experience consultant. So, most of these programs are actually done or designed to enable readiness for tomorrow's challenges, to help students understand what kind of 21st century skills you require to be more employable, to enable more transition between the classroom to colleges to jobs, because a lot of times it is not that the lack of knowledge, it's probably the lack of skills that stops someone from starting work immediately. And also, these programs are not done by teachers, they're not done by counselors, they're done by industry leaders who have an expertise in that specific domain. So for example, for this we have Kanika Kohli. For the other programs, we had people who had very a lot of years of experience in that domain itself, some even spanning 2 or 3 decades. So if any of you are interested to go for design thinking programs or any such scaling programs, you can definitely go for or check it out on idx.education. Nitin, in fact, will share with you on the chat as well a link to be able to go there and check it out. And of course, it is customized for a younger audience. So it is an interaction based live skilling program where you get to interact with the with not only the speaker but also with other students and other aspirants as well, and work in certain ways. In certain programs, we have team building work as well, so that you are able to build communication and various other skill sets that would help you out. Now, having said that, uh, directly to go into the kind of applications that are open for or have started for this academic year of 2021-22. Uh, Now, 2020 admissions were quite a thorough mess, in my opinion, because of various challenges with the pandemic, and some exams got delayed. So almost nothing went as per plan. It's only some of the very early admissions that actually completed, that did not have too much of a problem. It's only the ones that actually started beyond March that had challenges in doing it in a timely manner. So, which is why subsequently this year some of the applications have also been delayed. So, usually while you would see the JEE and the NIFT forms out almost by this time, they are not yet out. There is no information on it, though there are certain rumors which say that the NIFT and JEE form should be out by next month. NEET is supposed to be out by December again. However, some of the forms that are out right now and you are able to apply to them, while the CLAT applications have not been open yet, the LSAT applications for integrated law programs like the BA LLB, BBA LLB, and BCom LLB for more than 70 institutions across 25 locations in India, the applications have opened on the 10th of November and they will close on the 20th of April. So you have a very long window uh, to apply for the LSAT program, and the entrance exam is planned to be on May 10th. I hope it's done on time, at least for 2021. The B Design program for the National Institute of Design, or NID DAT, which is the Design Aptitude Test. Uh, the applications had opened on the 1st of October and they have closed already for on the 18th of November. The plans are to have the prelim exam by the 29th of December, and 29th of April would be the main exams for NID. So I hope the ones who are interested in design have already applied for NID DAT, because the applications have closed for the Design Village or TDV in Noida. Now they have a lot of programs as well. It's a private institution. They have programs in graphic design, product design, space and interior design as well, interaction design, fashion and transportation and mobility as well. So some of you are looking at those specific areas. Uh, there is a private college that has already opened up its applications, which is a design village, and it's open on the 1st of November. The application closing dates have not been announced, and the entrance exam time has not been announced yet. But we hope to have that data uploaded on the IDC platform as well pretty soon. Now, colleges like Flame University, Azim Premji, and Kriya also have opened up the applications in November itself. Flame and Azim Premji have opened up in 1st of November. Now, Flame has multiple, admission cycles. So the early admission decision cycle that has started now, by 30th of November, the application will close for that, and they will announce the second and third and the fourth waves of applications between January, February, April, March, and April. Uh, Now, the programs that they offer at Flame would be between BA, BSc, and BBA programs. Azim Premji offers a BSc and B.Ed integrated degree for some of you who want to become teachers and are studying science. Can look at a pure sciences program which is integrated with the B.Ed degree. The applications open on the 1st of November and will close on Christmas. The entrance exam is planned to have happen on 10th of January. And some of you who are looking at BA and BSc programs as well, Kriya University, which is in Sri City in Andhra Pradesh, the applications have just opened yesterday. For the early admissions cycle, 9th of January is a large date for applications, and you will be notified of when the interviews and the entrance exams will happen. Though Kriya says that their application is completely online this year, so even your interviews and everything is planned to happen online without you traveling anywhere. So I think that should solve a lot of stress for a lot of students. But yes, like Flame University, they have multiple cycles of admissions, which will happen again between January to February and March and April. So, like I said earlier, while JE was already supposed to be out by this month, it is rumored to be out by next month, and NEET and NIFT were planned anyway for next month. So, hopefully, by the 20th of December, when I talk to you all again, we will have these updates for sure, and probably let you know about the other updates that are there as well. Now, for anyone who is interested in, enrolling for a personalized guidance session with any of our senior counselors at iDreamCareer, I would request Nathan to be able to share this link for anyone who wants to enroll for the program. And while I do understand that there might be certain questions coming in from the audience as well, Nathan, if you could let me know if there are any specific queries that have come in by now. So, Nathan or Ankit, if you could let me know if there are any questions. Thank you.
Sure, John.
Uh, Either ways, if there are no questions, of course, this program will be recorded there, and you can put in the question on the chat, and some of our team members will come and check it on from time to time. But in the meanwhile, if you do wish to enroll for any kind of personalized guidance, and if you're still struggling with planning for your college admissions, you can definitely fill up this form, and one of our team members will be with you. Uh, we wish you a happy weekend and thank you for tuning in. We will do this session every 20th of every month to give you a very short brief on what were the updates for colleges. So tune into the IDC or the iDreamCareer channel and we'll keep updating the details there. So thank you very much, Nitin and Ankit. If there are no queries, I think we can close the session. Okay, so I see one question here. Okay, what can we do as a 11th student in commerce? Okay, uh, as a commerce student, depending on which are your favorite subjects, I'm assuming that the subjects that you're studying are between business studies, economics, accountancy, and maths usually is an optional choice. If you like economics, it's a no-brainer. You can definitely pursue economics in college. If accountancy is your interest area, then BCom usually is the area that students choose, uh, especially BCom finance. Uh, Otherwise, you can look at programs like BBA, Bachelor's in Business Administration. You can look at BMS, which is Management Studies, BBE, which is Bachelor's in Business Economics. Though these courses mostly are available in cities like Delhi and Mumbai, Delhi has a very stringent, DU has a very stringent admissions process where they definitely require mathematics in 11th and 12th to get you in there. But the number of options that are open to you, apart from these subjects, of course, all the careers that are open to humanities, including law, history, political science, psychology, English literature, all of the mass communication, all of these courses, hotel management are still open for you from commerce as well, including the armed forces and other stuff as well. So hopefully, Nitin, that answered the question that you sent in. Right. So if you're looking at IISc, the entrances they would be looking at your JE advanced course. They would be looking at KVPY as well, and these are usually the two areas that they normally look at. So those are the two entrance processes for IISc. Now I'm assuming this is for the UG programs you're applying for. Okay, so I think those are the two questions that I could see. Nitin, let me know if nothing anything else.
John, these were the two questions
So,
from the
uh, in
participants.
addition, okay, all right. So, in addition, like I said, the JE Advanced, NEET also scores are looked at, and KVPY scores also are looked at. Now, if you're looking at master's program, of course, GATE also is considered. So, again, if any more questions, you can definitely mention it on the chat, and if none, you can still mention it there. And of course, some of our team members will keep checking on the chat queries and will respond to you. So, Nitin, thank you. With your permission, we can stop the session or stop the streaming now.
Sure, John.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you for tuning in. And we shall catch you again on the 20th. And this time with a little more information on preparing for overseas education as well. We'll have a different counselor for that session called Parmita. And see you all then.